Oh, goodness. Hey, good morning, everyone. It is that time. It's 7 a.m. on the West Coast. Time to take a break with Drake. Only one small problem. Drake is not here. But that's okay. He's out, he's about, he's on the job. Hey, good morning, Dad. So, just if you are tuning in, this is going to be a pre-recorded interview with a guest that we have from one of our mission group friends, and Drake had reached out to them, and they agreed to come on to the show. So I'm going to go ahead and run that interview, and I'll be just joining you on the chat and welcome you to join in with me on there. And let's roll this interview. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited. We have a special guest today, My Hang. Am I saying your name right? It's Mi Hom. How in the world do we say your name?
Mi Hằng.
Mi Hang. Okay.
Yes.
Mi Hang. And your last name is Bach. That
Yes.
looks like German.
Right. It's I think original from China.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yes. So my great grandfather make up his last name as mean that we start from nothing. It mean Bach in Chinese and Vietnamese mean white. That means we start from nothing.
Oh, okay. Blank slate.
Yes.
Like a blank slate. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. So we're here talking today about Good Samaritan Medical Dental Ministry, or GSMDM for short. You can see I'm wearing the shirt. And you're wearing scrubs. Tell us about, is there a reason you have that color scrubs?
So we color coded all the scrub. So the healthcare professional, we wear green, and volunteer for men, they wear dark blue, and the women, they wear maroon. And there's so many leadership there, like pastor, they go with us. Some committee members, they wear gray.
Mm-hmm.
We color code everybody.
So you know that many years ago, the girls would wear pink.
Yes.
So many years ago, I wore the pink scrubs. I think I've worn maroon as well, and also gray. So I've had a chance to try different colors. No green for me, though. I'm not a healthcare professional. So you have green scrubs, so that means you are a healthcare professional. What is your profession?
I am a pharmacist. So we have special function in the missions.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about the history of Good Samaritans.
Okay, so Dr. Don, he came here in 1975, and he obtained his MD degree in 1985, and he came back to Vietnam 1999. He and his wife Ji Hong, they went back there and saw that how poor the countryside is. So they want to go back and help the poor people over there. Throughout the history, last year we celebrate 20 years of GSMDM. That's a big milestone.
It is a big milestone. So How many years have you been a part of the ministry?
So our family started 2016. That's the first time we went. We just went for 1 week to try out, to see what's going on. During the mission for that 1 week, it impacted us a lot. There's this one time that we have this little boy came. Before that, one of the doctor came over and told us that there's a little boy, 5 years old. He very defect, and he want us to pay special attention. But in the pharmacy, just like here, we very busy, so I forgot about it. And when I came out, we look at they gave us a chart, and the kid have birth defect, so we cannot do anything except give him formula. So we came out, and I look at the boy. I was joking in my own tear. I could talk because the boy it's just like a live skeleton. He's so skinny to his bone. He's 5 years old. He couldn't talk. He couldn't walk. So I stuck. I just stood there, look at her dad, didn't say anything, and hand them the formula. And me and the other pharmacist, we were like, look at each other, and we didn't say anything at all. After that event, we on the bus, we both cried about it.
Yeah, it's amazing because you probably see cases, and I know when I've gone to Vietnam with the team, you see cases that you wouldn't typically see here in the United States. And it's really grips your heart because you don't know, you look at this person who has gone through such challenges and you think, oh my goodness, it really touches you and it brings you to tears.
Yeah. They have so many birth defects there that we didn't see in America, not at all. So it's amazing that it still existed and nobody noticed them. That's just so sad.
Right. That's true. And then I know that the team is more than just a couple of people. Like, how many people have been on the mission when you have been going?
Every year we have more than 100 something people go with us. So yeah, it's amazing. It's a wonderful experience because all the healthcare professionals, they're very dedicated, and all the students go with us. That amazed me so much because they're very dedicated. They're so young. They give us so much hope for the future.
Yes, absolutely. And many, there have been several of the students who have gone on the mission who have gone on to become doctors and pharmacists and so on. They're healthcare professionals now than when they were students. And some of them were not even med students, perhaps. They were just, young people
Right.
going to college, maybe pre-med or maybe not. But it's amazing how many people, and we follow them on Facebook, and it would be great to hear from you if in the chat, if you have been on the mission, please say the year that you went on the mission in the chat below, because we would love to keep track of that. That's so fun. So yeah, you've been then every year since 2016.
Yes. So every year, so that same year, 2016, when we left the first week, my kid was crying so hard.
Aww.
They got really upset that we went for only 1 week, and they told us that we have to come back the year after with 2 weeks. So since then, we've been going every year, and we have to go the entire 2 weeks. Otherwise, my children really upset about it.
That's so funny. How old are your kids?
So right now, my daughter, she's 19, and my son, he's 16. So my daughter going to third year college in UCLA. Wow. And my son, he's going to 11th grade right now.
Oh my goodness. They start they're older.
Yeah, they're older now.
You look so young. I knew.
Yes.
I thought they were little kids.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that they see that as a wonderful opportunity to go and do something really special. I mean, not every kid gets to go and be with a medical team. So when they go, how do they help out? What do they like to do to volunteer?
They do anything anybody asks them. So most of the time they in a reception team. So we have 19 total. we have reception, we have history, and we have dental, opto, lab, pharmacy, and we have medical assistant, and we have surgery team. And 2018, we create ICU to help the hospital.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
1 year, my first year I was in pharmacy, and then I think the last time I went on the mission, I was in optometry, which is a lot of fun. Everybody's happy in optometry because they come in, they can't see, they get glasses and they can see, and it's so exciting to see the dramatic change, you know. I mean, every place, every part of the mission has a really amazing purpose and it's helping people, but some places are a little more fun than others, like pulling teeth. That I mean, they're glad to get the bad teeth out, but it's still painful.
Right.
So tell us about this new thing. There's an ICU now. So how did that develop? When did that become? That's like a new thing. So how cool?
Yes. So the year before, 2017, Dr. Don went into the hospital with surgery team a couple of days before the surgery week started, and he walked around the hospital and he find out like they seem like missing something. And then he talked with some of the doctors in the hospital, the local doctors, and it seemed like they kind of like withdraw a little bit. But then afterward, he also went with Dr. Patricia Dang, and they both like talked with the doctor there, and they finally realized that they missing the ICU part. So then we started, 2018, we started that. So we bring our staff kids with us, and we try to train the doctor there. So when that's the very first year that we went, when we come in, the hospital staff team, they still kind of withdraw from us a little bit. But during that week, we working with them. Our doctor very dedicated. They one of the Dr. Phil, he's so great. During the downtime, he opened his laptop and he have a full lecture of emergency medicine, ICU lectures in there. So he sit down and try to lecture them. And there's another doctor there. He speak Vietnamese, so he translated and teach the staff there. So after the week and working together, there's some misunderstanding between the local doctors and patients there. So, but because I'm speak Vietnamese, so the patient came to me and the doctors that came to me. So I kind of like talk with both sides and try to ease out the misunderstanding between them. And later, our friendship developed more. So the hospital, they really like us now. So we have a way with them now because they kind of like consider us as their staff now, because when we came in this past year, 2019, we came in, it's a lot easier. They welcome us more, so with open arms. So this is good.
That's wonderful. I think that it's great. I mean, it's, even we here in the United States, when we have somebody come maybe from another country who's really exceptionally good at a particular skill, we are excited to learn. So sometimes, if there's a little bit of miscommunication because of either culture or who knows what's going on, sometimes it just takes that time to sit down and talk with people to work out those the right. issues, right? And so that's amazing. You were there at a very good time to be able to help facilitate the discussion. And sometimes that's hard, even if you are you're fluent in Vietnamese. But I'm sure there's still differences, and working through all those things can be a challenge.
Right. Yes. So look like over there, even I grew up in Vietnam. I came here we so used to the lifestyle here. We used to the culture here. We come back, the culture a little bit different. They more, if you earn a degree, you are higher up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's times that they treat the patient a little bit different than we do. So that's where we come in the pictures, because we treat the patient with respect and dignity, so the patient can see that. They can see the difference, and they realize that. That's why when we there, a lot of patients requesting that, can I see the American doctor?
Oh.
And then we said, no, the Vietnamese doctor are really good too. You should see them too.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's funny. It's interesting that you bring that up, because there was a time in history where I was watching a little bit of the story of Florence Nightingale, and she was a nurse during the Crimean War, and she was very concerned about keeping the soldiers clean, making sure that the area was always cleaned up, and she would always treat them kindly, and they always called her the lady with the lamp, because she would go all hours of the day taking care of these soldiers. And at the time, the officers who were above the soldiers, they just treated them like animals, they were not as nice to them. But after I think it was a journalist who wrote a story about her, and she was just loving these guys and really wanting to take care of them. And it was just a perspective. The officers had a certain perspective. But after they saw the work that she had done, after they heard what the newspaper had written, after that had become more, and then the soldiers loved her so much, and they would write this, tell everybody back home about Florence Nightingale and how kind she was. And so then everything, it changed. So their perspective changed because they saw that there was love, and love is quite is quite the change. If you know that your healthcare professional cares, it makes a big difference. It's not just that they have the technical skill. Isn't that true? You have to know that your healthcare professional cares about you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I think that's one thing that the whole reason why GSMDM is going to Vietnam, it's fueled by love.
Right.
There's a great love from the team to go so far away, to go and help people very, very far away. So that it's not always not everybody not everybody has just a ton of love to give away. So
right.
it's a real it's something that happens from the inside out, doesn't it?
Right. Right.
So tell me, what is, I know that there's more to the mission than medicine. So can you tell us more about the overall, there's several things going on besides the annual mission. Oh, well, first of all, before you go to that, did a mission happen this year in 2020?
No, we planned it. We have students sign up. We went to the first training, but then we have to cancel that because the government over there won't let us in. And even if we go there, when we come back, the government on this side won't let us back in the country. So we have to cancel it, which is really sad. But we tried to do the telehealth, but the government there, they said that it's kind of like difficult for them to gather the patient with what's going on with COVID. So they said no.
Oh, I could imagine there would be challenges for that. So
Yeah.
In the meantime, I know that GSMDM hasn't stopped doing things for the mission. So can you tell us a little bit more about the other things that are going on?
Yes. So Dr. Dawn and Chi Hong, we did the gowns. They make gown from plastic. And because I live so far away from them, I also make gown for our areas, and they did gowns for Riverside County. I did gown for Ventura counties. And they also make N95 mask for the healthcare professional in Riverside County. They very dedicated. They work days and nights. And our family also dedicated on our side. I cannot make masks because I need a filter, but we don't have the filter here. So all we can do is making gowns. And they donated
so now are these like full length, like surgical style?
Yes.
Okay, surgical gowns. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So the full length for hospitals around, and they did the N95 mask too. So.
And okay, the N95 style. Wow. Okay, so that's a big effort.
Yes. And so now, last night, our board meeting, we talked about starting doing COVID tests to help out the county too, because the cases number going up a lot.
Over in Riverside?
Yes, in Riverside, Dr. Don start doing, he signed contract with Abbott to have the site to open for COVID test for a patient in the county, which is wonderful.
Wow, yeah, no, that's a huge help for sure.
Yes.
So in the meantime, you're doing some local efforts to help with healthcare until you can go back to Vietnam.
Right.
Okay, that's amazing. I know that there's a building project going on in Vietnam. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So the government there, they saw the work that we did so good. So they offered us a couple of years ago a piece of land so we can build a clinic on there. Glenn is one of the board members who been going there to help build the clinic. And we supposed to have like 3 trips this year. They did make it on the February trip, and but I'm not sure the April that happened or not because of the COVID, so they have to stop. But the local people still continue helping us building the clinics. We were planning to have the grand opening for the clinics in July when we supposed to come there for the mission, but everything got canceled. So because of the number of people that come there to build, way less because the volunteer here from our church here to go there, they have to stop going. So the clinic still going on with the local patient and officers there. They still helping us. So it's still going, but a lot slower.
I see. So was the clinic, did they complete building it?
I'm not sure. That's a good question for Glenn because he's the person who in charge of that.
Yeah, Glenn is the builder guy.
Yes, he's wonderful. Yeah, so it's almost done. Last time they did the Zoom meeting for us so we can see how the clinic going. But I have to be at work, so I cannot join the meeting on that one.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun to see at some point in time, some completed clinic photos when those are available, because that's amazing. And also, so years ago, and then this is just jumping back in time, when the mission was going to mid-Vietnam to Hue, they had developed, they were teaching emergency medicine and had written a textbook for that purpose. So do you see that clinic now? And is that clinic in Cao Bang?
No, actually the clinic is in Hue.
The clinic is in Hue?
Yes. Okay. So I didn't have a chance to see that at all, but Dr. Cloud is one of the doctors that see that Vietnam needs emergency medicine.
Yeah.
So he opened up to that, and then Dr. Don work with them, and that's where Dr. Don meet Dr. Phil, and they help teaching the medical student and the medical staff there. So now they also develop they create a emergency medicine conference in Vietnam for those doctors, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's amazing because it's a whole separate discipline within medicine, and to be able to facilitate that and create a teaching for that, and to make that better known is awesome. I think that's amazing. And now, so with the ICU, is that going to be at the clinic in Hue, or is this at the hospital in the north?
It will be at the hospital in Cao Bang.
Okay.
So the ICU and emergency room, they have only one room. So the medical staff in Cao Bang, they don't know anything about emergency yet. So Dr. Phil and Dr. Don try to train them on that too. So they will establish that. Right now we have 2 doctors there that Dr. Don really focus on training them because they work in ICU. But they have only one room have 10 beds. There's no curtain, so there's no patient privacy there.
Wow.
This
Okay.
is really sad. So when we were there, people come and ask us like, okay, where's the emergency room? I said here. And then they asked like, where's the ICU? I said here. There's only one room. There's no machine. Yeah, there's no machine hooked to the patient at all. There's nothing connect to the medical staff where they can observe like which patient is, dying or how their condition. They have no advanced machine like here at all.
Yeah, I what's amazing about the mission is every time the team goes to Vietnam, they bring all of the equipment. I mean, the equipment that is brought is amazing. There's like the refractor for optometry. I mean, that's not a big machine, but there's other machines that are bigger. Like the ultrasound machine, is that going every year?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I mean, ultrasound, they take the ultrasound machine to Vietnam and other machines, so, I mean, there's an autoclave, right? In with dentistry.
Yeah. For
right?
dental.
I mean, there's just, I mean, it's not like you're just bringing out some toothbrushes and some stitches or some stuff to stitch up people. I mean, it's like a big mission with a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
So, and it's great that there's a heart for teaching because, I mean, if you can catch a fish for somebody, but if you teach them to fish, they can catch their own fish for the rest of their life. And if you teach doctors how to do procedures or teach them techniques, you save so many more people. You help so many more people in the future by teaching, which is amazing.
Right. Sustainable. We try to train them to be sustainable by themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So that's wonderful. So what would be your favorite story? I mean, you shared the story about the little boy who was like needing formula. I mean, who had a genetic disorder. Are there any other stories from the time that you've been on the mission that's really like stood out in your memory?
Oh yes, there's many. I've been writing books about it because every mission we have something to talk about, and we keep going on and on. This one time we have this little boy. He have a humongous pus in his joint on his hip that he couldn't walk. And I will send you the picture of him. The orthopedics doctor put a humongous syringe in, withdraw that pus out. Can you imagine that? And then they inject some medicines in there for him. They give him some steroid. And the next minute, I turn around, this little boy running around.
Wow.
And I asked him, would you like to sit down? Are you in pain? He's smiling. He said, no, because when he came in the clinic, the dad have to carry him on his arm. And now he can run around. So he said, oh, and he keeps smiling. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so amazing. And so we start like packing medication. I packed like antibiotic and steroid injection for him and instruct the dad, like bring to the clinic. They have a little clinic at their local. And I said, bring it there. Ask the nurse to inject it for him how many times a day. And in the meantime, this little boy running around is so wonderful, so cute.
Oh my goodness. He had a dramatic change that day.
Yes, that day.
He'll always remember that day, which is so cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun story.
And then the thing is, there's more to it, because I love the mission, because the fellowship between the healthcare professional, the fellowship between us and the students and the volunteer in Vietnam. This is wonderful. The mission is hard. It's not easy. You've been there, you know that.
Yes, yeah, it is challenging. You're tired because you're working long days. It's hot because we don't go at the cool time of the year. It's so hot, and even if you're in the north, it's still hot, and you're tired. But and and you still have to iron your scrubs. You have to. You have to look professional.
Wash your own clothes.
Yes.
Yes. But right after the clinic, we were so tired. I thought I can go to the bus and sleep, but no, we went there and the students start singing.
Yes.
And we start singing with them. We enjoy our time. The team building is great. The leadership skill from the students, the committee member is great. I admire them so much. Like, oh my gosh, you guys so young and you know a lot more than me.
How fun though. I mean, it's a great, because you have people from different generations working together. There's joy because, you know, it's hard. The challenges are there, but when you overcome those challenges, you just feel so happy, you know, and there is a lot of singing.
Yes, a lot of singing
on the mission, which is so fun. And, it's really great. So tell, you know, as we wrap up, because we're just getting past the half hour. Can you believe we've been talking for a half hour? I could talk more, you know, because it's so fun. It's like going back on the mission again, you know, when you talk with friends from the mission, even if you don't even go on the same year together, you know, there's like a connectedness that we can have because we know you know, what makes me laugh actually is when they're, I don't know if it's still the same way, but when they honk the bus, the horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep.
Yes.
And it just goes, it keeps going, da, 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 da. I'm like, wow, I will never forget that sound, the horn honking on the bus, you know, or just, you know, people selling things by the side of the road, you know, stopping to get a snack or, you know, like that, or the family that's in Vietnam to come welcome us, my the, and you know the whole you know the extended family out there. Which I mean, I miss seeing her. She's so much fun.
Yeah.
In fact, she calls my husband boyfriend.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah. So if you see this, my the, and you like saw it in Vietnamese or something, I know. I remember.
Yes.
Oh, she's so fun. Anyway, it's great. It's like a big family that we've that has been built over the last 20 years, and some people come back and are a part of it, and then but you were still a part of this big family that we have. Tell people how they can get involved and help the mission.
They can pray for us, starting from the time that the first training where the student can learn a lot so they can prepare for the mission. Pray for us when we're there. Pray for our safety. Pray for our knowledge so we can help the patient the most. And then help us participate, like join the mission with us so they can see for themselves, so they can see that majority of these professionals and students, they totally dedicate to the patient. There's nothing about me at all. It's nothing about that. It's not anything about the individual, but it's more about the patient care over there for the poor people.
Yeah.
And if they can help donate, because every year we go there, we not just paying for, you know how all of us that pitch in our time, the doctor spend their time with the patient, but we pay for the hospital room. We pay for the family members who there to take care of the patient. We pay for their transportation. And if the patient pass away, GSMDM also spend their money to pay for the funeral.
Wow.
And there's some cases that the patient have cancer. We cannot treat cancer, but at least we help to pay for the nutrition like milk or any medication afterward that they need. So there's a lot more than just the mission. Anytime we see there's a need, we try to compensate that for the patient.
That's right. So where can people go to donate?
They can go into our website, is the www.gsmdm.org, or they can also go onto Facebook page. Just go on Facebook and GSMDM, then you can see us there.
Okay, perfect. Now, in years past, we had friends who would make quilts, or they would crochet like small shawls or blankets and send them down to Riverside. Is that something that the mission still likes to receive? Is like these donations like that?
Yes. I would love to have that, because when the patient have surgery, we give them the quilt. And you've been there, you know that it's on the high mountain. So in the wintertime, it's really cold. And we saw somebody walking with no shoes. Or there's some patients share with us that the whole family have only one winter jacket. So when during the winter time, it's cold as here. And if whoever have some business to go out, that person will get a jacket and to get out of the house. If not, everybody stay inside the house. So the quilts help them a lot to cover them during the winter time.
Yeah, that's good. And thank you for mentioning the jackets too, because if you do have jackets that you're not using, you could also send them. And there's two purposes. They use the quilt to pack around all of the equipment that go in the luggage.
Right.
When they go, because there's so much and you need the packing material to help keep it nice and safe. So it's a dual purpose. And then they're all given away. They are given just a blessing from the team. And so this is, if you are crafty, then you can do that. I think the address is on the website, but I can also put it above so you can see where to send a donation like that if you wish to make something to send to the mission. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you for sharing your stories and your heart and about the mission overall. I think it's been fun to have to go, like for me, a trip down memory lane, and then also maybe for some who are watching and some who aren't watching have an opportunity to learn something new. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a chance to talk about the mission. And I look forward to see you and Dr. Drake back to the mission. You can be in pharmacy team now. I sign you up next year.
That's right. Sign us up.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that was so much fun talking with my I'm still going to have to work on saying her name right. I have to be reminded. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. And I just want to encourage you. We all have a mission field. We have this wheat field behind us. It's representative of the harvest. So there's a harvest field right in your neighborhood. So as God leads you, I encourage you today, walk in his favor and use your sweet skills for the kingdom. All right. Be blessed today. And we'll catch up with Drake tomorrow at 7.